Hello and a very warm welcome to Daily Dispatch, a show that gives you all the latest news and updates from the digital ecosystem. I'm Priya Sheth. Thank you so much for logging in. Today is a special day because we complete 50 episodes of the Daily Dispatch. I'm here once again to give you all the top news stories that we've been tracking for you this evening. Well, first up, direct-to-consumer beauty brand Purple has raised about $45 million from Sequoia Capital India, along with existing investors Whirl Invest, Bloom Ventures, as well as JSW Ventures. Now, the brand saw its early investor Ivy Cap Ventures partially exiting the company with a 22x return. Now, Purple.com has over 6 million users and 3 million monthly active visitors. Well, moving to the second headline of the day, casual dining chain Barbecue Nation Hospitality has fixed a price band of Rs 498 to 500 per share for its initial share sale, which will open for the public subscription on March 24th. Now, proceeds from this issue will be utilized to fund the company's capital expenditure plans for expansion as well as opening of new restaurants, besides prepayment and repayment of certain borrowings. Well, fintech app True Balance has raised about $10 million in debt funding from a group of investors. Now, Northern Arc, along with investors from India and Korea, have invested in the fintech startup's lending arm, True Credits, to support the NBFC's growth in India as well as launch of newer loan products. Well, moving on to the final headline of the day, the asset management arm of Financial Services Group, IIFL, is looking to invest in pre-IPO as well as late-stage rounds of internet economy companies through its newly launched 1500 crore rupee fund. Now, the fund has a green shoe option of around 500 crore rupees, which takes the total size to about 2000 crore rupees. Now, IIFL AMC will raise the capital from family offices as well as ultra-high net worth individuals. It will look to invest about $10 to $20 million in about 10 to 15 companies through this fund.
Well, moving on to our second segment, I have with me someone who has created a product which is basically India's answer to Twitter. The product is called Koo, and I have with me the co-founder, Aprameya Radhakrishna. Thank you very much for being a part of the Daily Dispatch. I want to begin by asking you why you've been in news of late, and of course, that's primarily because you have onboarded a series of prominent investors and given an exit to a Chinese investor. Tell us about the whole process and all the new investors who've come on board.
Yeah, so we've been in touch with Shunwai Capital for some time because the kind of business that we're in, it has a definite element of political discourse apart from daily updates from people writing various kinds of literature, poems, everything. So given that it can get sensitive at times, we had been in discussion with Shunwai, and they had actually very politely agreed, understood the situation and politely agreed to actually exit. When we asked our internal investors, they were obviously happy to participate in the buyout, and we thought it was a good opportunity to also get some known names in the startup industry. I started contacting some folks, including Kalyan from Flipkart and Sujit from Udaan, and of course Javagal Srinath, who's India's fast bowler, ex-cricketer from India. So, all of them, were quite excited to be part of the journey, and happy that we could get them on board.
Talk to us about how 2020 has been, considering that everything's gone virtual, everyone's been at home, everyone's been interacting on various social media platforms. For Koo, how has the journey been?
So, 2020 is when we launched Koo, right? So just before the lockdown is when we launched Koo, and we were actually very surprised with the traction that we got with our first community. So Kannada was what we launched, and everybody was in lockdown and at home, and it kind of actually gave them a reason to be logging in to a new app, meeting new people, talking about local issues in Kannada. So that gave us a lot of confidence of what potential Koo actually has, right? So we started launching new languages, and at the end, also saw this opportunity of getting English speaking Indians also onto the platform. So I think 2020 for us was a year of discovery, a year of discovery of Coup, a year of discovery of the potential of enabling the voices of India in Indian languages. So for us, it's been a very good year. We won the Atmanirbhar App Challenge. We got mentioned by the Prime Minister in his Mann Ki Baat. We got an award from Google Play Store as one of the best daily essential apps of 2020. So we had a very good year, and 2021 has started even better. So that's awesome.
So we'll talk about 2021 in a bit, but I also want to talk to you about the number of users that you have on the platform at this point in time. You have even very prominent political leaders who are part of your platform and have been encouraging the audiences and other users to get onto Coup platform. So how does this overall movement feel? And in terms of users, if you could give us some estimate as to what kind of trends or geographies are these users coming from?
Yeah, so we have, the best of folks joining us. It's not just this February, but even last year, we had folks like Anil Kumble and Jawahar Srinath joining in. We had the Chief Minister of Karnataka, B.S. Yediyurappa. We had the Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka, Dr. Ashwath Narayan, all joining us, right? And apart from the ruling party, we also had accounts of Mr. Deve Gowda, Mr. Kumar Swamy, Mr. D.K. Shivkumar, right, from politics. We've got cricketers, we've got politicians, we've got actors, actresses, we've got writers, poets. So we've got people from across the landscape. So it's a celebration of Indian culture and Indianness overall, more than anything else, right? So I think we've been fortunate to be able to attract some of the best creators and best minds of India. So happy about that.
So in terms of total number of users, what does it stand at this point in time?
It's nearing 5 million downloads. 4.7, 4.8 million downloads right now.
So, as we enter into 2021, I wanted to understand what kind of product roadmap are you working with at this point in time? Any strategies that you think will help perhaps take this platform to the next level?
Yeah, so I think the premise of starting was to enable the voices of India in Indian languages. So all our product strategy is mapped to that, making sure that creation in local language is easier than anywhere else. Making sure that you can find people, from your language community easily. Making sure that the app is understandable and in your own language that one can understand. So all of this put together actually makes people extremely comfortable in expressing themselves, and that makes Coup the product that it is. As in, we want to connect India deeper on the internet, right? While existing products will connect us to the globe and rest of the world, Coup will connect people deeper into India.
As we speak, a product like Twitter is still very much out there, and a majority of English-speaking users are still on and using Twitter as a platform. So how do you see this migration happening? Do you see there to be a place where a user has both Twitter as well as a Coup account, or how do you think the dynamics of this will work out?
So, we're not saying, we will replace Twitter, right, ever. So, there are different use cases. If you look at, the three main things that the Indian audience is very, very interested in, it is politics, it is cricket, and it is Bollywood and other film industries, right? So if you look at it one by one, the people who vote much more are the people who actually speak local language. So the politicians will want to connect with the local language folks more than the English speaking folks. They can already connect with the English speaking folks on Twitter. On Coup, they will be able to connect better with language speaking folks, right? And when it comes to Bollywood or any other, movie industry, the people who actually stand in a queue and buy tickets to watch a movie are people who speak local languages. Movies are made in local languages. We hardly have any English movies made out of India, right? Uh, when it comes to cricket, the people who stand in a queue to go fill the stadiums are also preferably are people who prefer local languages, right? The English speaking folks actually might just want to ask for a VIP pass or all of those things. So that's where we are operating. And uh, that's what I mentioned earlier also, right? Like, we want Coup to connect India deeper in the domain of thoughts and opinions.
In terms of your monetization strategy, what kind of strategy are you going to follow? Are there going to be new features or products that you'll be launching on the platform?
So advertising is one easy way to go at scale. Right now, we're not really looking at monetizing, but that is one place to definitely experiment. We will also look at other ways. If people don't want to see ads, maybe they could subscribe to the app. Maybe we could do concepts like some kind of social commerce on the platform. So all of those experiments we will do and see what fits in the context of India.
So now, as we look forward, what kind of expansion plans are you working with? If you could tell us what we can look forward to in 2021 in terms of addition of new features, and considering that you also have a roadmap in place, if you could tell us how many users are you looking at adding over the next 1 year?
Yeah, so our goal is to hit 100 million downloads over the next year, right? I think we have enough and more, that is happening for us. Thankfully, because of all the attention that we got in February and March. Every single person in India knows about Coup, so our marketing problems have been sorted to a certain extent. We just have to give a nice little reason for each individual to come on to Coup, right? So in that direction, we're actually looking at multi-lingual cooing, which means for the first time ever in social media, a person can type in one language, translate and broadcast different language coups to different communities, right? That will actually help each creator get a following in every language of interest, right? So it's not like you post in one language and people who speak other languages are wondering what you're saying, right? So that should never happen, right? It's a very unique Indian use case. So we want to grow to 100 million downloads. We want to build experiences which are deeply connected for India, and that will be our focus.
In terms of revenues, what numbers can we expect?
No, so the idea is to hit the 100 million download mark first, and then we will look at revenue.
All right, and I want to ask you one final question. In terms of fundraise going forward, I know that you have raised some funds as well last year. Going forward, considering that you are looking at an aggressive expansion plan, is there more funds that you'd require? And if yes, then what quantum of funds are you looking at?
I think we have aggressive plans. We will need funding. We've been fortunate to just have concluded a fundraise in January. So that's really helping. But yes, as in more than just the money, I think working with like-minded folks, people who want to be part of this rocket ship that has been launched, happy to talk to them. Quantum, whatever amount people want to give, I'm happy to take.
All right, this is an open call to all investors to come and pump in money into Coup. That's what Aprameya is telling us today. On that note, many thanks for joining us today on the Daily Dispatch. It's been a real pleasure speaking with you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Priya. Thanks a lot.
Well, time now to say goodbye. Many thanks for joining us on this edition of the Daily Dispatch. I'll see you tomorrow at 5 p.m. Goodbye and see you tomorrow.